Hello everyone, this is Breaking Wrestling. Here we cover breaking pro wrestling news as well as break down what goes on in the ring and behind the show. Earlier, WWE hinted at some cost reducing measures, and hours ago, significant cuts were made with the number totaling to above 20. I'll run them down and they are as follows. Number one name on the list, the biggest name, Kurt Angle, Olympic gold medalist obviously, as well as a well-renowned name, household name. He has a lot of contributions to the WWE and lately just been backstage and he's been helping producing these matches. He's a big name, but I think he's one of those names that WWE is probably going to hire back from all the list of these names. Next on the list is Drake Maverick. I had been told that he was the general manager of 205 Live for about 2 years, so that was a thing. And now he's about to wrestle in the Cruiserweight tournament, and that'll be pretty emotional for him knowing that it'll be his last matches. So we're gonna see how that turns out. Next on the list, Zack Ryder, a name that was the most relevant, I would say, back in 2012, and after that, Woo Woo Woo, Long Island IZ push, and his whole thing with John Cena and everything, it just came crashing down with the whole Kane thing. But this guy was an edgehead too. He had been with the company for a long time, got that Intercontinental Championship moment at WrestleMania, but the company never really thought much of this guy, and finally he's been cut. Moving on, Kurt Hawkins. This guy was really nothing in WWE's eyes, I imagine. They treated him like a jabroni. They treated him like a nobody every time he got into the ring. That's why he had that losing record, right? And where'd it go? It went nowhere. Moving on to the list is Anderson and Gallows. These couple of boys signed big money contracts just a while back, but now WWE has released them. This comes as a big shock because some might say that these guys were valuable to WWE, but when you see what they have been doing on television, it isn't much. And now that basically they've been written off by Undertaker in that Boneyard match, I think that's the end for them as far as it goes in the WWE with this firing. Moving on to the list, we have Heath Slater. The man's got kids, but this pandemic doesn't see anyone before it attacks. Unfortunately, that's another loss of a job. Heath Slater has been released after a long stint. All the jokes can begin now that he's gonna come back and win the WWE Championship like Jinder Mahal and Drew McIntyre. Eric Young. Eric Young has also been a wrestler for the WWE. Upon his arrival to the main roster, he did nothing, and lately he was just producing matches in a backstage role, so he has been cut as well. Moving on, we have Eric Rowan. Eric Rowan. And this guy was getting a bit of a push till McIntyre got his spider crushed, right? So that was the whole story and that was it. And I guess the spider was more of a character than Eric Rowan was, and I thought he was improving honestly, but it's the end of the... Well, Sarah Logan, she would be my number one firing preference as well if I were McMahon or anyone in charge, but that's just from a business standpoint. It really does suck if anyone loses a job. Sarah Logan goes down. No Way Jose was also released. This guy sometimes came on Raw, sometimes, only sometimes, and whenever he came on Raw, he got his ass beat every time. So this guy has also been released. He wasn't much but a dancing jabroni on television, and we aren't gonna really feel his absence, but unfortunately this is the reality and he has to lose his job. Moving on, we have Mike Chioda. One of my favorite referees of all time. This guy has been with the WWE for so long, I think 30 plus years. He is such a good referee, I would add. Just his facial expressions and stuff like that when he used to get angry and when he just used to express himself to the wrestlers. Anyways, good luck to Mike. Mike and Maria Kanellis also released. Not much to say about those two. It's not like WWE ever had anything to say about those two, except embarrassing storylines, of course. Next on the list is EC3. It's been talked about the potential this guy has. WWE never tapped into it. We never saw it on television, especially on the main roster. Some would question if the call up was necessary, but anyways, it's like bye bye. Aiden English wasn't really doing much of anything after the whole Rusev Day thing crashed. And this guy was just on the roster, just another body, I feel, and he's been let go. It wasn't like he was going to contribute. I understand this business decision, but yeah. Leo Rush also let go by the WWE. We know he's had heat with management before. He has had a bad rep for a certain period of time, but I thought that was past us. He did speak out and stuff like that, but I guess management thought that we don't really need this guy, and even though he's participating in the Cruiserweight tournament, they let it. Next on the list is Primo and Epico. These guys always had their jobs, but I always wondered where they were. Like, I wanted to put these faces on milk cartons, but like finally we know where they are, and they have been turned. So the last person on the list has gotten many people by surprise, but I'm not sure why, because if you followed the story between Rusev and WWE and his contract negotiation and the whole thing, you would know that this guy has been asking for his release for a while now, and WWE said, like, we're cutting costs right now. This guy asked for his release, so why not let him go? His wife signed to WWE late 2019, and she's gonna be under contract for 5 years. So that's just the way it's gonna be. I'm not sure if they're gonna hire him back afterwards. I'm not really sure if he wants to work for them. I think both parties are happy. Let's see where his career takes off. I won't be shocked if we hear more releases in the days to come, with all the cost cutting being done, the XFL going down the drain. Vince has lost tons of cash, so this guy has to be like just cutting down costs wherever necessary and wherever he can. And I would also like to add, it's pretty funny. It's not really funny when people lose their jobs, but I would, for lack of a better term, funny that these guys, all of this news was released on a Wednesday, where A-Dub had a championship match, and there was going to be a lot of attention towards them. But right now everybody seems to be talking about the releases. Not saying it was intentional, could be a coincidence, but that's just the way it was on a Wednesday. And best of luck to all these guys released. I hope you all find good fortunes ahead. Thank you so much for watching. This was Breaking Wrestling. If you enjoyed the content, please hit the subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up. I'm going to be covering other breaking wrestling news as well as wrestling shows, so I hope you'll be entertained, and I'll keep the content coming. Thank you, and take care of yourself.